friends, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Virgo June 2025 astrology horoscope forecast. Well, we've got a rare changing of the guard here. Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter changing signs, either have or are about to this month. Uranus is also going to change signs next month. Not even going to get into that yet because it's just too much. But this is all going to bring massive changes for Virgo. We're going to talk about all that, as well as talk about some of the short-term transits that are just kind of lighting up this month or roundabout, so that you are well equipped to understand the potentials that are sitting before you. This is for you if Virgo is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Virgo placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. Very late degree Virgo friends, so birthdays like September 15th through the rest of the sign, or Virgo placements 23 degrees to the rest of the sign. I suggest you additionally listen to my Libra report, as you very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. Okay, so let's just start with the shorter term movements and then build up to these big life-changing long-term events that are happening now. The first thing to know is that this month we've got a lot of Gemini energy. Yes, we have the tail end of the 1 year of Jupiter moving through Gemini transit. Yes, we have a very, very, very long Sedna in Gemini transit. But these shorter term ones are the ones that are going to light up for this period of time and then switch their focus. So let's talk about that. Gemini energy, Hygeia, the Sun, Mercury are all going to bring lots of information coming in, lots of communication and prolific expression. Information coming in, information going out, a lot of movement, a lot of busyness. You will be spinning around in circles this month. Gemini is an upward spiral in its energy, as is its counterpart, 180 degree opposite Sagittarius. And we do have a full moon in Sagittarius this month on the 11th as well. So between those two energies doing this upward spiral, you will be all over the place. Your home and your family are going to be accented in major ways. We will talk more about home and family expansion when we talk about Jupiter moving into Cancer, but know that there are multiple levels of home and family and your work or your place out in the world, your employment, really being activated at this time. A lot of information, a lot of change, a lot of opportunities, just blasting wide open at this time. You may be moving for work. You may be starting to work from home. You may be moving your work to be a home-based business. This is an energy. I'm using the little saying, bloom where you're planted. Jupiter in Cancer, and then just the energy of the new moon in Cancer is really showing us that there are things that we can do where we are to bloom. Now, I'm not saying that you won't travel far and wide or that you won't move far and wide, because some of you certainly will use that very busy Gemini energy for active change, and some of you will use that long distance travel and immigration Sagittarius energy for the big things like that. But there is something, very, very poignant about this time, this upcoming year, this new moon that's on June 25th, of just really being present where you're at and seeing what you can do to make better relationships, make your home space the best it can possibly be, while, of course, managing all of this information that's coming in about your work and career. Now, if you are not if you're retired or you don't need to work, this can have to do with your passion projects. And for all Virgos, this can also have to do with the energy of father or authority figure or parent or parenting. And, you may see things going on with your own parents, or you as a parent, something interesting coming up there. Okay, so guard your health with your supplements or your wellness or whatever you do, because Gemini rules the respiratory tract, and with so much energy there, you'll just be stretched very thin and spread very thin. So you may need to do some extra health care stuff for you to stay well during this very, very busy time. But it's a time of excitement, and it could honestly be a little bit overwhelming because Virgo does not have this type of energy, where it goes in upward spiral. It is mutable, so it does go all over the place, but it goes in a downward spiral. All right, so this is going to feel ungrounding for you. This is going to feel overwhelming for you, but it can also feel exciting for you, and it can bring a lot of change. Now, we did just come out of the eclipse season. That is calming down now. A lot of the changes that happened March, April, May are starting to become our new normal. So we can check that off. That's not on our list for having to do a lot of stuff with at this time. Also, very important thing to know, with all of these big changes with these outer planets, you may be having to make some decisions, and the time couldn't be better because June is one of the only months in the whole year where the whole month is completely free from personal planet retrogrades. All the other outer planets besides Pluto are also going direct. And, so that's really pushing things outward very far. If you have been following my tide analogy, we've been having the tides coming in pretty much since September. And then in April, things started to shift. May, things got stronger going out. And now here in June, everything is going fully out. So you being the person on the beach, having spent many months waiting for things to come to you and dealing with what came to you, not being able to push things out far and wide because they would keep getting bounced back to you. Now you can push your long-term plans, your big important things, your big moves, your big launches, start your new business, launch your book, bring your life's creation out. All of these things are really, really primed and ready for going very far and very wide with minimal paddling. That's why I like to use this water analogy, because if you're paddling against the tides, maybe you'll get somewhere, but you won't get nearly as far as you would have if you had waited till the tides were going out, right? So that's what this is like. The tides are going out now. So anything that you do can go further, wider, for longer. And this is, very perfect when you're trying to do something new that you want to have longevity. Okay, so let's talk about what else. Now we've got Saturn having just moved into Aries. It will be there for a few years. We've got Neptune moving into Aries. It will be there for around 14 years. I did do a special report on Neptune and Aries that has general information plus time-stamped info, so I'm not going to go too much into that, except for the idea that change is happening. Look for Annie Botticelli, Neptune and Aries on my podcast and on YouTube to get the details for that. But basically, you're going through a spiritualizing process, an ongoing spiritualizing process in your close relationships and your money dealings. Saturn is coming in and testing all of those same spaces and trying to bring longevity, and them working together basically is they're dissolving. Neptune is dissolving out the things that aren't cutting through the Saturn tests. So Saturn is throwing disciplinary and taskmaster tests at relationships with money and with people, and even your psychological advancement, throwing these tests at you. And things that can't be sustainable for the long term, Neptune's dissolving them away, and Saturn is anchoring in those things that can be long lasting. So you'll see a lot of switching around of loyalties, of focus happening with these outer planets. And, as I said in the title of this report, it's very rare that we have even one outer planet change signs. Jupiter doesn't do it, but every year it takes 12 years to get back into the same sign. Saturn is a 30-year cycle. It's in one sign for, multiple years. Neptune is there in a sign for 14 years. And them all happening at once, it's highly unusual. And when you consider that Pluto changed signs last year and that Uranus is about to change signs in July, that means all the outer planets, over the course of not even a year really, are changing signs. So this is a time of radical change for humanity. We're going through looking at things differently. Generational things are changing. Things that have been in play for a long time are making shifts. And you'll see that globally, but you'll also see that in your own individual experience. A lot of this has to do with your independence and how you do things, your personal flow, because Saturn and Neptune are in Aries. But of course, it also has to do with this 8th house of deep connections with others and entanglement financially and emotionally. So, there's a lot going on there, and there are stories that are starting now that are going to be in process for a very long time. Fullness, completion, fruition, drama may come in the days around June 11th with that full moon in Sag. For Virgos, that is lighting up your house of home. We talked about this, that, home and family is being lit up for multiple reasons. That full moon is happening there. And since Sagittarius is the world traveler, that is going to manifest for some of you as an immigration thing going through, getting a job opportunity in another country or with an international company that will, require or offer you opportunities to travel within your work. So that's a lot of big stuff going on with home and family. The days are on the 25th. The new moon is planting a seed for new relationships within your family, new housing and real estate situations. And then, of course, we've got Jupiter on June 9th moving into Cancer. Now, I like to give a 3-month radius before this happens, so we'll dial it back May, April, March. You know, for the last few months, you may have started to feel the expansion of home, of family, of your roots, of your ancestry, of housing. The urge to move, or the urge to bloom where you're planted, or the urge to, expand your family. Jupiter in this configuration can expand people in your home. You could have more roommates. You could have a partner move in. You could have a child, and that adds to your home population. So something expansive about home and family is happening. And I want to talk about the time frame and then when it happened before, so you can kind of think back to not only how your home and family and real estate matters maybe have expanded during past transits of Jupiter through Cancer, but also how your 11th house of friendships and groups and teams and the internet and social media may have expanded in those times too. So this transit will run from June 9th into June of 2025 into June of 2026. And the last time it happened was June of 2013 through July of 2014, giving it that 3-month radius before, we'll say around March 2020 or 2013 to July 2014. What kind of things expanded at that time? What kind of benevolence from the universe or, other things went on with Jupiter's growth? Prior to that, we'll say around April 2001, because it actually went into Cancer in July, but we'll give that 3-month radius. So April 2001 through August 2002. What about your home, and family and housing happened then? Did you have kids? Did you get married? Did you buy a house? Did you get into real estate? A lot of you will find that happened. Did you start friendship groups now or then that you may be going deeper with now or moving away from now? Did you have something meaningful happen with a patent or with technology or with the internet or with social media or something like that? So you'll see that, this energy is going to continue what it had started then and go to the next layer or start brand new things. Jupiter moving through Cancer also kicks a 60-degree angle to Virgo, and this is a great angle. This is the angle of opportunities. Opportunities, the ones that I always like to describe as the ingredients on a counter type of opportunities, where you've got the ingredients to make some sort of pie, but the pie won't make itself, so you have to do something with the opportunities that come. And so now that I'm telling you that these opportunities may come, you can be on the lookout for them, so you can make a beautiful pie out of them. Venus is also going to move into Taurus, and that's going to move through your 9th house of, guess what, Sagittarius. Okay, so more of this having to do with teaching and learning and education and information coming in and information going out and, expanding your horizons and things involving the bigger picture. So overall, a very busy month, a very active month. A lot of things going on in the short term that are making things extra busy, and we've got new change of patterns of life happening all at once that will put you on a very different trajectory. All of this is going on. If you want more information about what is happening and you want more specific dates, I do a very nice write-up when you go to AnnieHelpsYou.com. Click on the free VIP community tab, put your name and email address in there, get the welcome letter, click on the archive link there, put in June 2025 astrology, and you will get my June 2025 report. And I will have the sweet and salty dates with all the aspects. We have a lot of them. We've got, like almost 30 aspects this month. A very busy sky from that perspective. And at least 13 of those are sweet aspects. So I have all my favorite ones of those. I also have the ones to be awareful and careful of. And we do have 2 outer planet clashes that I don't have the time to get into in this report that I will cover in that report as well. So you can do that. If you want to know what all these outer planet changes mean for you personally in your chart, I have a personalized report that I not only include info about the changes in the general scene, but also where they're going in your chart and how long the planets will be, where they are or where they're going. Go to AnnieBClarity.com, Annie the letter B Clarity.com, to see what all this outer planet movement means for you. If you want to learn astrology, go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. And if you want to dive deeper into what Jupiter may mean for your moon and your sun and your rising and all of your placements, when you go to AnnieHelpsYou.com, scroll down and look for the Secret Star Portal. In there I have exclusive content that will include Jupiter for all of the signs and houses. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.